Okay. It's working. Oh, I think that's good. Guess I need to restart the game. Off to a great start. Will we change the video settings? This game is not suitable for children. Or those. Okay. Hey, now it works. Alright. Please enter your name. Should I go with my real name? Tobias. I guess. Hey! History skip. Oh, history set so I can read. Ah, that's good. Auto, save, load, settings. I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently. And I would get tired of waiting up. You and me both. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. Oh, that would look weird though. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Haha, I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. I mean, do I have to be that asshole? If you catched up, I mean, would be kind of weird for me to like run when she's... You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. Ah. Hey, spaces. That's me, Tobias. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you didn't have it in you to be mean to me even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Tobias, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. It really is me. I was talking about how... No, wait, it's not me. I don't have any female friends. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a neat in a few years because you're not used to the real world. This game is making me sad. Don't make me keep worrying about you. It did say don't play it if you're having anxiety or depression. Alright. I look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit. Even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. Is this just a book? Or is there like gameplay as well? After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Oh, thank God. We are not neats because we have jobs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. Who needs chicks when you can have work, dude? I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello, Sayori. Sarah must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. Eh? This was obviously Seba's, but since he told me to play Omori, I had to give him my fullest. I had to give him my 110% confidence in game selection. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. To unsub, I think you press the sub button and select gift sub. I think that's how you do it. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. Exactly. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make it late to your own club. 100 T3 subs. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, it's kind of weird that Jeff Bezos would do that to you, but that's how it is. Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Pay to win. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. I hope. I don't think there's NSFW now. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less, although there are pages for that. I'm going to the anime club. I mean, if it exists, there are pictures of it on the internet. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Why do I... In my head, that laugh is like the Peter Griffin. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all of this out. I let out a long sigh. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yeah, let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. This isn't the first time I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. I guess you can quick save as well, and so you can try out. I'm guessing you get to choose the options then later. Swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glanced around the room. Girl 1. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Why is that her voice? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Tobias, what a nice surprise. It's getting hot in here. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry, Natsuki. Of course you like the tiny one. Yeah. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Would it be Natsuki? Like, I think you don't, at least in words, you don't pronounce the U's in the middle of the sentence, right? But maybe in a name you would. Natsuki. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. I think there's more to it than just the U rule. She is also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyways, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Obviously, her name would be Monica. That's such an usual name in Japan. That's... Hey, it's great to see you again, Tobias. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Hey, Monica, hey. Imagine, I can't imagine that was a song, actually. Imagine him getting paid like several hundreds of Swedish crowns. Probably more. For that song? Monica is probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little. You too, Monica. Come sit down, Tobias. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. I made them. I'll get them. So sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room, where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! What? Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes, decorated to look like little cats. Of course they are. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. There's the Peter. Well, you know, that's a Peter Griffin laugh. Oh, of course they did a Japanese version of Hey Monica. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Oh, the Danish one must be real bad though. Sayori talks with her mouth. 10 copies sold. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. Does she have white icing all over her face now? I turn the cupcakes around in my finger, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard it somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did. Sayori said. Well, maybe. But not for you, no, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. He carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. I will never be able to read that laughter without thinking about Peter Griffin. I can't even do it now. Don't let yourself get intimidated. You're just trying to impress you. That's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I didn't. I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about budget and publicity, and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. And Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. Yeah, we still need... Is it Cassandra? In the sun? And somebody all night long? A little bit of... Mia? Is all I need? We still need the rest of the girls. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people. Oh, what are the names of the girls in that song? A little bit of... Is Monica the first girl? A little bit of... Monica in my... Lou Bega. Erica? Is Erica? What? Yeah. Then Erica. We still... Yeah, Sandra is in there as well. Rita as well. Yeah, we still need to gather the whole gang. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. What does he want to do with Monica? A little bit of... Monica. I can't remember the song at all. In my life, it is that, okay. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events. Erica by my side. A little bit of Rita is all I need. Sandra in the sun. Yeah. And something all night long. And a little bit of Natsuki all night long. But it makes school events like festivals that much more important. And confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Well, I need to make sure my camera isn't in the way of something. Yeah, we'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were also delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So Tobias, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. That's like answering books. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Or maybe the others are reading, like, for some reason, because it's a Japanese game, or like, inspired. I was like, obviously they are reading manga, but maybe they're reading like normal books. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. So that's sort of my bad. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyways, what about you, Yuri? I know, right? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. Kinda. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of our own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, I just... Natsuki's eyes start over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems. Everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Freaking XD eyes. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. It's a bop, not gonna lie. You wouldn't like them. It's like 10 seconds maybe, looped. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. You have writing experience too, Yuri. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. And remember, when you put the cap on, it needs to click. Then it's for my friends, viewers. Then next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Please let me write the poem as well. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, apparently I'm a member, I think it will help us all to get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Tobias? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Oops, it's hit my camera arm, my microphone arm. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. Imagine being the guy saying no to these girls. But I'm sorry, I thought. Tobias, y'all. I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, their girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. Exactly. Bullied or easy down bad. You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Well, then that makes it official. Monica is gonna break her back. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. We ate a cupcake and drank some tea. That's not a literature club. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over to me once more. Tobias, look forward to seeing how you express yourself. I can't do the laughter. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel anxiety welling up inside me. Will I get to choose stuff, or is it just the reading? I'm fine either way. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Tobias, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayori and I never walked home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room, and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls: Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day in school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. My guy is down bad. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances. And I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Oh, please tell me I'm... Okay. Raindrops. Swimsuit? And... Can I... Oh, I can't go back, I guess. I guess ocean, because I chose swimsuit. Fester. Vertigo. Throb. Night. Ooh, nightgown. Whirlwind. We playing Diablo? Beauty. Does this mean... Is this like... She hates it the most and these are like... Socks? Disowned. Peaceful. Sensation. Don't make Papa angry. How can you not take Papa? Of course you take Papa. Also precious. Now we're getting straight inappropriate. Oh, marriage, it's a bit too early. Yo. Can I play with your kitty inside of your swimsuit? Oh, this is probably gonna be nowhere close to what I'm hoping. But let's just go with it. Exactly. Of Could you say kitty with another word? Ooh. Let's go with nibble. What's Doki Doki? What does that mean though? Oh, it sound the heart makes. But how can you not go with sticky? Oh. Bed. Yes. Oh. Playing this game when tired might not have been a bad idea. Is it true? Is that the way Japanese people say the heart sounds doki doki? Doki doki? Oh my god. Let's select cute, I guess. Poof. Fireflies. Heaven sent. Did it hurt? What? When you crashed from the heaven? I gotta go with kawaii. Yeah. Oh, it's onomatopoeia. So, how would I know? Let me clap them cheeks. I'm not gonna say anything. Wanimu. Contamination. What? Shiny fair vacation. Let's go for some candy. Oh, let's not take horror. Summer. What's I don't. What did my poem be about? Eigentweis. Let's see. It didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to come here. If you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. My guy, I wrote a poem with 20 words last night. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Tobias always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking and cleaning. Show me your... No. How dependable. That's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Tobias can become good friends too. Sayori, I sound like Sans from Undertale. Oh, I haven't played that. It's actually on the list as well. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, right. I'm trying to sound like Peter Griffin, you know. I can't. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up for me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah. I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. Yeah, of course I don't have any books. It's a short read. So it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. Thanks, it will cure my ADHD. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. Is this? How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Oh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts her stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Ah, sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. Just like anime, dude. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. So much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard of in my life. Parfait, that's ice cream? That probably means, or like, dessert? That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. Oh, because I have read every single manga, obviously. I'm a man of culture. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Tobias. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. Ah, I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking animated feminine poses. Is this like Powerpuff Girls? It's exceedingly Mo. Don't just stand there. What? Natsuki grabs my arms and pulls me out of the closet. Ah, out of the closet. That's the wrong way. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't the chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Eh? Why's that? Ah, I guess it's easier to be closer together like this. Ooh. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses his arm and scooches an inch away from me. Ah. just as in real life. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say that this is a particularly bad thing. I opened the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. Was it I'm just stretching a bit. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kinda grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I want to know what you're saying. I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with a guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. Those are the episodes you skip. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories. And when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? What? That's okay. It gives me a little shove. I just mean that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about bacon. Toast? This is just a guess, but there's a lot of baking in this manga. Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah, why does that matter? It doesn't. I was just curious. Oh, is she basing her whole life according to this manga? Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking, my guy. Sees right through her. Still, of all the hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it. So who am I to judge? We read on for a few minutes. I finished a couple of chapters at this point. The eyes, though. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not, even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that, if you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something with you Excuse me? I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Nah, mean, son? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Oh, she has no friends. That's so freaking mean. Like you could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up with them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Oh, I know these kinds of people. Don't mess with the sword, Jesper. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge you. Much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other loser over time. This game is hitting too close to home. Constantly. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. What kind of dad is that? You have manga? At least it's safe here in the clubroom. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problem. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. Ah, I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... Ooh, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. This is a kind of a delight after playing Omori last night. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to get the parfait manga spoiled for me. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience. The thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Eh? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. So you do look pretty cozy over there. Ah! Natsuki suddenly notices how close you've gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. My guy knows his 12 inches kind of fast, though. That's oddly specific. Alright. Guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Ah, yeah, but Monica has said. Don't be dumb. Just take it home with you, eh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course, it would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow, so we can start the next one. And if it gets spent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Guessing I need to choose between that one and the other book then? Alright then. I stand up, I return to where I put my stuff, and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration, since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwork from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Let's go with Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all, oh, so you don't get to see the, okay. Natsuki rereads my poems. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems. That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Ooh. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poems if yours was really bad. It shows like swimsuit and I don't even remember. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show what really good literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it. Irk. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. Ooh, you're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go around announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. Oh, Natsuki. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? I showed you mine. Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly. A poem by Natsuki. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try, but that's about it. But that is truly about it. Yeah. I told you that. Do they have voice recognition in game? I like it. What? I am. What did I write though that were so good? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. Oh, people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. I felt it to my core. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. I'm freaking crying, dude. Oh. But the other thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I go to guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. Natsuki is kind of full of herself. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Youngest one? Natsuki is back on the table. Yeah, I guess not. I don't really care how old everyone is. But if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Let's go with Monica next. Hi, Tobias. Having a good time so far? Ah, yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Tobias. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh geez. Oh no. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. Eagles can fly. People can try. That's about it. That's about it. And she's a good writer too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein? Eh? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad, and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views. Is he the one? Does he exist in real life? I feel like I've read like the shortest story, saddest story is like for sale, kids shoes never used or something like that. Maybe that's not like a writer who wrote that. Maybe that's just a. Did he write that particular sentence though, or that? I mean, is it really poetry? It's just a sentence though. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning though through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. You want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, no? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late, my retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. What do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. That kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I have some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. P-G, write it down. P-G. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. And rock your microphone. Thanks for listening. So let's go Sayori. ... Thanks for listening. This has been my TED Talk about making poems. This is a good poem. Are you sure it's the first time? Of course, it's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention that the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room, well, of course, I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, deep down you're not selfish at all, you know. Try new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Hey, I'm part of the team now. We the A team. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? You can't say that, Sayori. Now you read my poem. Okay. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Ah, yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds less like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast. Breakfast. No, he says more like breakfast. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. Oh, don't they also make like eggs and toast? The freaking kid with the is it like a strawberry suit or something? Breakfast. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Ah yeah, but next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Yeah. Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guessed that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thoughts, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. That you just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the clubs gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Poem? I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlights. The last remaining streetlight to leave withstood the test of time. To have withstood. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Oh. I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time. Well, I just didn't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. It's our first time sharing. I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Who? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Tobias. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. Yeah, my brain is too little. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in the last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Holy shit, Yuri is full of herself. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Phew. I guess that's everyone. That was a little more stressful. It's as if everyone is judging me. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. It's a kind of funky word, literature. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrow furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you just say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come out with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Tobias did too. Don't bring me into this. So based on that, I'll gladly give you the same suggestion of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. which I haven't yet. And Tobias liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. I had no choice. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... Ooh, you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Tobias appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? Imagine having two girls fight over you. Imagine having one... if I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Ooh, say, is everything okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one who boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Tobias started showing up. This doesn't involve you. Are you saying there are some socks involved? I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they noticed I was just standing there. Tobias, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. Yeah, I looked at your boobs yesterday and they look the same today. It's no worries. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate the simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Tobias. Wait, there's a reason why there are so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Tobias? Well? How did I get right into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. I gotta go with the little girl. You're really talented. Well, but Natsuki has a point. I think that. I rack my brain in an attempt to back myself up. I think that conveying feelings with few words can be just as impressive as well. It lets readers' imagination take over. And Natsuki's poem did a really good job at that. It did, didn't it? Shows you how much I know. You know, that's not Natsuki. I think that's enough. Me? But she was so mean to me. Look, what we talked about yesterday was right. Writing is a really personal thing. And sharing it can definitely be hard. It looks like we learned that today. Even small criticism can lead to something pretty heated. I glance over my shoulder. Sayori is nodding vigorously. Yeah, so you don't need to feel threatened. You're a great writer, Natsuki. Natsuki's voice gets caught in surprise. Thanks for noticing. He finally mutters that, barely audible. Yuri. Yuri looks at me dejectedly. With a face like that, I can't help but feel bad for her as well. I'm sure that Natsuki didn't mean everything she said, so you don't need to feel threatened either. Well, if you say so, hey. It's not like you need to apologize for me, Tobias. Sheesh. Sheesh. Natsuki takes a breath. The thing about... Natsuki glances around the room. Would everyone stop staring at me? Sayori and Monica look away. Anyway, the thing about your boobs, I didn't mean it, okay? That's all. Natsuki looks away, avoiding eye contact with anyone. Yeah, you're naturally beautiful, Yuri. Sayori? I'll go make some tea. Eh? I was just trying to help. I'm sure she appreciated it, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. Well, now we're past that. Everyone's read each other's poems, right? I hope that it was worthwhile for everyone. Especially you, Tobias. And to be honest, it's a nice change of pace from lazing around. We got a little too used to. Ah, so my joining the club was responsible for ruining the atmosphere. No, not at all, not at all. There's still time before we go home, so we'll all relax for a bit. Of course, besides chatting, we do literature-related things in the club room. So maybe you can take the chance to pick up a book or do some writing. After all, that's what the club is for. I disagree, Monica. About what? That's not the most important thing about literature club. The most important thing is having fun. Of course. Well, I guess that's why you're the vice president, Sayori. In the end, though, Monica's right. Being in the literature club probably means I can't spend all my time doing nothing. But in the end, I guess it's been worth it so far. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did y'all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Tobias, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Bias, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them in a fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You're saying the fight was about me? You don't hate them, do you? Nah, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion. I can see why they make good friends with you. You know, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? I say that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Leroy! Yeah.